What Stacey Says, the weekly podcast. Real lady, real life, real views. Uncensored, unfiltered, unmissable. And here's your host, Stacey.
Hello, my darlings. How have you all been? Oh, it seems like forever since I've been on here and spoken to you and done a recording and whatever. I have just come back off of holiday. So it's like I'm still in holiday mode. My tan is fading, which is upsetting. I've been back a week on Tuesday. When I tell you that we had the best time, I've gained 3 chins. I'm shocked that I don't even look like a slab of feta cheese. It was just amazing. This hotel was just phenomenal, which I will go in and tell you all about. And we have actually booked to go back next year because it's just stunning, absolutely stunning. It was just amazing from start to finish. The staff, the food, the people, the actual people that were there actually on holiday as well were just amazing. So we've had the best time. I have now completely finished my holiday washing because, as you all know, you come back and you have got mountains and mountains and mountains of washing to do. Me and James, I don't know if anyone else does it. As you can see, there's some of my normal washing now behind me, work uniform and all that shit. Because when we come back, we went straight back to work the next day, which feels like we've only done 3 days this week, but it feels like a long, long week. So, holiday washing. I don't know if anyone else does this, but we obviously booked our holiday with EasyJet. So with EasyJet, you get 23 kilograms of luggage, which is brilliant because I always seem to pack too much and then not wear half of the shit that I pack. And then we just use one case as dirty washing. And then whatever we don't wear, we stick in the other case. And if we've got anything that we buy or anything like that, we can all wrap it up in the dirty washing and just whack it in the case. We take a little weight with us, like a little weigher thing, because I'm so paranoid that I'm going to be overweight, even though we weren't. Well, I was a little bit under coming back because I think my case was the dirty washing case. And James was like well under. So, and he had olive oil in there. He had my bottle of vodka in there, a half a bottle of whiskey, and it was fine. So thank God it was fine. So we flew to Crete on the 30th of September. It just seems like it's fucking miles away now. We flew with EasyJet. And as you all know in my previous episodes, I'm a very nervous flyer. And we booked the lounge. Now, our flight was at like 7:10 in the morning. So we had to be at the airport at 3:00. Same flight times as last year. We booked the lounge, but last year we went asleep. So we done the twilight drop. We dropped our bags at the airport at like 8:00 at night, the night before we flew, come home and went to bed. This time we didn't do that. And James and myself like stayed up until we went to the airport. By the time we got to the airport, we were exhausted. So we didn't really benefit much from the lounge. I had something to eat and I think a couple of glasses of Prosecco, and I think I fell asleep to the point where James was like, babe, we're now boarding. I was like, shit. So we went to board and we got on the plane, and as soon as James got on the plane, he's asleep. So he slept for the whole duration of the flight. He woke up to have a hot chocolate and some biscuits. There's me, 4 bottles of vodka, and 2 cans of Sprite. And our flight out there was amazing. EasyJet are fantastic. I know a lot of people slag them off and say they're fucking awful, but touch wood, we've never had any problems with them. And we went on our holiday and we landed at about 1:00 Crete time. So they're 2 hours ahead of us as well. And we were picked up by a private transfer via the hotel that we had booked to stay in, which is called a Mitsis. So if anyone has never stayed in one, you need to fucking stay in one because they are brilliant. I've not stayed in a 3, but we stayed in a 4-star last year, and this year we stayed in a 5. And I'll tell you what, you cannot beat them. You can't. They are absolutely brilliant. Our one was the Mitsis Selection Laguna. It's one of their, what's the word? I think it's one of their, it's one of the big ones, like one of the important ones. I can't fucking think of the word. Oh, and it's right on the tip of my tongue. That really pisses me off. I can't think of what it is. Shit, we'll come back to that anyway. I posted all the photos on my Facebook. As you know, this hotel was absolutely beautiful, stunning. I said to James, when we get married, I'm fucking getting married here. I said, I don't care whether you come or not. But it was just stunning. The only thing that is a problem is the beach. In Crete, you do get sandy beaches, but this hotel has got a very rocky beach. Not so much the sand. It is very fine shingles, but going out into the water is very, very rocky. And some people love that. Some people don't. Even James couldn't snorkel in it, and he loves snorkeling. So we went elsewhere, but that was the only downside. But if you do not, like if you're like me that goes on holiday and just wants to chill out, relax and not do much, this hotel would be your dream. We left the hotel twice in 2 weeks. One was to go out for dinner one night, and the other was we went out all day because James wanted to return to Plaka, which is an hour's drive. So we rented a car. That's a whole different. We'll get to that bit. We rented a car and we went to Plaka, and we had lunch in the same restaurant that we had lunch in a year ago. And it's right opposite the Leper Island, Spinalonga, and I just loved it. He went snorkeling and I sat there with a glass of wine, or should I say a bottle of wine. And it was lovely, but we'll get to that part. So if you don't want to leave the hotel, you really don't have to. It is so beautiful. The staff, everything, as I keep saying, is just stunning. Our room was a bungalow with a garden or terrace or balcony, and it overlooked one of the quiet pools. And I mean, I don't book a holiday to sit in a room all day. I don't give a shit what my room's like. I'm not going to be in it. I'm going to be out, and I'm going to be by the pool, or I'm going to be on the beach, or I'm going to do that. But this room was massive, like absolutely massive. It was like a studio flat. You could easily put a little kitchenette in there and you would have been well away. It was massive. It had 2 showers, one over the bath and one like a normal standing shower. Massive sink, loads of storage space, safe. Just everything. The bed was massive. James might as well have slept in the bathroom. That's how massive this bed was. It was huge and so comfortable. Pillows were comfortable. Everything. There's aircon. There is a TV, massive TV in there, and if you have got Netflix, you can log into it. There was one night that James decided to get pissed on their spicy margarita cocktails, which they are spicy. For me, they're spicy, but he wanted them extra spicy. And he got pissed and didn't even remember going to the room, and he slept for 12 hours. So I sat there in the room. I did try and wake him up for dinner. He weren't having none of it. And I sat there and logged into Netflix and tried watching that Ed Gein documentary thing. And I couldn't watch it by myself. I'm that much of a pussy. I need something to hide behind. And 2, I just weren't in the right frame of mind to get my head into it, but I will. And I said to James, that's one thing we need to watch. So you can log into your Netflix if you want a quiet night in, or if you're just exhausted and just want to go back to the room and you can sit there and watch that. You get a mini bar, kettle, coffee machine. The mini bar stocked every other day. You get 2 bottles of wine, beers, sparkling water, endless amounts of water. If you like me and like a coffee in the morning, like most of you have seen that I sat on the balcony and had a coffee, then there's shops underneath the hotel, like all down the side. So you had a gym, you had a spa, you had an arcade, you had all little like boutique kind of shops. And I just bought my own milk and I sat on the balcony and had my own milk, because you only get them tiny diddy little things, don't you? Don't like them. They don't last. So I bought myself a pint of milk and I'd just done that. So if you're happy with that. But the main pool, where they done like loads of like water aerobics and all that, that was heated. But you need to wait for it to heat up. Most people were moaning. Like one guy moaned and he was like, "Oh, it was heated last year." It's like, fucking, it's 25 degrees. Why do you want to be getting into a heated pool? But some people just are so entitled, don't they? Or they think they are. But yeah, we stayed by that pool. We didn't really go to the quiet pool because I can't sit in silence. Like if I'm on holiday, even if I'm reading a book or whatever, I need to have some sort of noise around me. So the DJ, Toto, would be there like Monday to Sunday, just putting a playlist on and you'd listen to it and just chill out and start drinking Prosecco at 8 o'clock in the morning, which is what I did. So that was a big shock to the system coming home, like not having my morning Prosecco, I must admit. Food and drink, couldn't fault it. You had 4 a la carte restaurants that you can book. As soon as you kind of book this hotel, you either get a reference number. So if you book through EasyJet, we got a reference number. So as soon as the hotel opens up in April, you can book the restaurants in advance. So for the time that you went there. So I booked the first week that we were there. Didn't book when we landed because I thought there's no point. So for that whole week, we booked the restaurants out. Food was amazing. Didn't particularly like one restaurant, but it wasn't inedible. We ate it, but it wasn't our favourite. So we didn't return. You could have brunch in one of the restaurants, which was just stunning. It was lovely. Bottles of wine. So, normally when you go on holiday or whatever, you just get it by the glass. In the a la carte restaurants, they give it to you by the bottle and you can have as many bottles as you want. I know that I stayed in a hotel when the first time I went to Cos, and we stayed in the a la carte. We had 2 meals in one of the a la carte restaurants. They only give you half a bottle of wine. And then when you want more, you have to pay for it. And I think, well, no, because I've paid whatever amount of money I've paid to be here. But in this case, no. You want a bottle of Prosecco, they'll give you a bottle of Prosecco. You want another one, they will give you another one. There's no additional charges or anything like that. So that was really nice. In the buffet restaurant, they only give it to you by the glass. You don't get a bottle. But by the time you've eaten in the buffet restaurant, you want to go and sit in one of the 4 bars that this hotel had. Me and James actually forgot that there was 2 bars upstairs. There was the night bar, I think there is, and there is a champagne and sushi bar. We did use them, but by the time we'd finished eating or been out or done whatever, we completely forgot that them 2 were there. We were like, shit, when we come back next year, we're going to have to really, really use them 2. And they will do any drink that you ask for. Any drink that you ask for, they will do. And it comes, and I cannot stress enough, a fucking glass. I've been places where they will give you a plastic cup. And I'm like, I'm not feeling it here. I get it by the pool. If you're around the pool or you're on the beach, plastic. But even their glasses, when they were plastic, look normal. It was a plastic wine glass, or it was a plastic Prosecco glass. It wasn't just like, bang, here you go, here's your 50p plastic glass. Couldn't fault this place at all.
What Stacey says. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes. Uncensored, unfiltered, unmissable.
The staff were just so amazing. We had 2 days where it rained in the morning, but once it cleared, you would not have even noticed that it rained. And the staff made their own entertainment one day because the DJ obviously couldn't work because it was raining, really raining one morning. And they just started dancing around the pool. And then where we were located, which you will probably see on my Facebook, is the maid started dancing on the balcony and we were just laughing. It just really, there was nothing that these people couldn't do for you. Anything you wanted, they got. Anything you asked for, they got. Polite. They knew what you wanted to drink. Obviously, for the first week or so, I was always Prosecco. So every time James went up or that, they come round and take your drink order as well. Even if you're sitting right by the bar, you had Billy, who was just brilliant, and Costas, who was so funny and was just so brilliant with all the people. would come around and take your order, and they would come and they would go, oh, I don't need to ask you what you want Prosecco. And I was like, oh, maybe I need to switch this up a bit. So from Prosecco, I went to Cosmopolitan. So they were like, what? Hang on, what are you doing? No. And they were just like family. This hotel was just like a massive family run place. It just, pretty certain the hotel didn't sleep because it was just constantly on the go. Like, you're given a map of the hotel when you're there, and it tells you all the opening times and where everything is. Da, da, da. Well, one of the early bird breakfasts in the buffet restaurant was like 4:00 in the morning. I'm like, but no, this hotel don't shut down till 11. I'm really hoping that people will shift work here. Like, what do? Do they literally just work 24 hours? It was just like, it just didn't sleep. The hotel didn't sleep. Noise wise, never really, where we were, we didn't really have a lot of noise. Only like people that were above us that had like children or whatever running around, but I'm not really going to complain about that. It was just amazing. That was it. And I'm so excited to go back. What else can I say about this place? I could sit here and talk about it all day. They have a beach hut as well, which serves food and drinks on the beach. But because we didn't go on the beach, James would go and get food, and then bring it back to the pool. So that was good. They would walk around with pizza about 3:00 in the afternoon, just like slices of pizza. Because when you've been drinking all day, like me, you kind of feel like, I could eat something now. So it's really like a nice touch just to walk around and just give you a slice of pizza. We met some amazing people out there. And I really don't want to sound like, oh, fucking hell, when you go on holiday, you don't want to like see English people. When we stayed next door last year, there was hardly any English couples or English families. I know we go really late in the year, so for pricing, and that'll be another episode. We didn't really see hear a lot of English speaking couples or families, and it was a lot of like other nationalities. But at this place, it was like full of them, which was nice. And when you're on holiday, everyone is just so happy and calm and relaxed, isn't they? There's not the hustle and bustle of like, and the stresses of life. Like, people talk to you, they say good morning to you. They're like, oh, hello, and how are you? And how long you been here for? And da da da, and how long you staying? And all that kind of stuff. And just everyone gets on. We met two lovely, lovely girls, Lauren and Jen. They were like wild childs when we were out there, and then they sort of calmed down because they were going home. We stayed out with them one night having a drink and listening to the keyboard player and all that. There was another couple that were there. So many people that were there that we've met, and we've all sort of like added each other on social medias and stuff and kind of kept in contact. You do meet some really, really lovely people there, and they're all there to just chill out and relax and just get the sun on your face and whatever. I mean, I've got a white neck because I don't sleep or tan like that, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was just so, so good. I've really, really have got holiday blues at the moment. I hate it. Like, I went back to work when I come back and I was just like, even though me and James have got Prague booked because he turns 30 in November, so I booked that for us, but it just isn't the same. I know that sounds awful, but it's just like, it's somewhere that we both have never been, so that's the exciting side to it. But it's just like, it's going to be freezing, but we are looking forward to it. But going back to this holiday, James actually stayed at this hotel about 10 years ago when he was about 19. And even he said, I didn't really appreciate it when I was here, like all those years ago. And there's staff members there that he goes, I recognise her, or I recognise him. But he said, I really, really didn't take it in. And he really has taken it in this time. But I said to him, would you come back here again? And he went, what, like next year? We're like sitting by the pool and we're talking. And he went, yeah, I would. We had a managers meeting because with Mitzi's as well, if you join their storytellers, you gain points. So in every mixes that you stay in, you gain points. I don't know how many points per night. So then you go up tiers. So you start as a learner, then you're an author, then you're a poet, and then you're a mentor. And then your band changes colour. So 2 friends of ours that we actually met last year, Susan and Laurie, they have stayed in this hotel 7 times because they love it. They absolutely love it. They come back. They literally know everyone in the hotel, like staff and managers and everything like that. And when we booked last year, I got all in the Facebook groups and I wanted to know as much information about this hotel as possible. Reason being, because we had such a shit time when we first went on holiday together in Cos, I got very OCD and very worried that we were going to have the same experience. But thankfully, last year and this year, we haven't had that experience. So when I was looking at booking here, Susan messaged me and she was like, well, I'm coming over tomorrow. She went, I'm happy to show you and your partner around. And that's how we built our friendship up. And we talk near enough every single day or every other day. And I can't thank her and Laurie enough for all the information that she has given me and James about this hotel, the do's and the don'ts. They are the Wikipedia of this Mitzi's Selection Laguna, this couple. They are absolutely brilliant. Any information that you need if you want to stay, you need to speak to these 2. So we got invited to the managers meeting, which is every other day, I think, maybe. And you get to meet all the managers there. And it's only for a couple of hours. They have a saxophone player. They have Prosecco. They have canapes. I don't know if I've said that right. And they come around and talk to you, the management, and ask you how your stay is and what do you like and what can be changed and all this, that and the other. And they are just, I mean, these people are the reason why this hotel is how it is, because they just work their asses off to ensure that they make us happy. And I think a lot of people fail to realise that. The reason why your holiday is a luxury is because of who is working at that hotel or working at that destination. And when people treat them like shit, it really, really gets on my nerves, because I think, hang on a minute, they're working their fucking asses off for you to laze around for 2.5 weeks or whatever. Have some respect. Even down to the cleaners or the maids and things like that. I think do not disrespect any of them, because they are the reason why that your holiday is a luxury from bottom to top. So we had this managers meeting and we met quite a few like young couples out there, and I don't think they obviously knew about the storytellers, because me and James are sitting there and they're walking up and they're like, what are you doing over there? And how have they, you could see on their faces, they haven't asked, but you could see what the fuck are they sitting there for and what they doing this and how have they got that treatment and we haven't, and all that kind of stuff. But with the storytellers, you get gifts. I'm not sure if it works in every hotel, so I'm not going to put it out there and think, oh, well, I didn't get a gift. But we got Prosecco and fruit on our day of arrival, or a couple of days after we arrived. I got a beach bag, which I was so over the moon about, but it wasn't in my room. And I see everyone walking around with this lovely beach bag. And I was like, I haven't got one of them. And I thought it was because you needed to be in a certain room, or you were here on a special occasion or something like that. And I said to this lady who had one, I said, how did you get your beach bag? She went, oh, it was in our room when we arrived. I was like, oh, okay. She went, have you not got one? I was like, no. So I went up to reception and said, and this is subject to stock as well, because they might run out and you might not get one. Went up to reception. I said, is there a way that I can get a beach bag? She went, was there not one in your room? I said, no. When I went back there, when me and James had finished dinner and gone back to our room, there it was on the bed. So I was over the moon. I've got my beach bag. They would come like with non-alcoholic drinks and canapes every other day, and like I've got another bottle of wine and some more fruit and all this. It was just little touches like that. It was just stunning. Absolutely stunning. And it just made me fall in love with the place. They had an end of season disco on a Thursday night. They had a barbecue and Cretan, I want to say Cretan or Cretan dancers. I might say said that wrong. And they all danced around the swimming pool. And the food on that barbecue is just amazing. It's just so amazing. So that's what I mean. It's so like, so much going on. You don't even need to leave the hotel because you think, oh, I don't want to leave. I might miss that. Or there's just always something going on. So just anywhere. Like we haven't got children, so there is a kids pool, and it is located at the far end of the hotel. I mean, this hotel is fucking ginormous. I'm not going to lie. And it's all one level. So if you've got mobility issues or anything like that, it's perfect. The only thing is just where it goes up to the main part. There's steps, but there is a ramp. But other than that, it's all on one level. And there's lifts. There's 2 lifts. So the kids' pool's located right at the other side. It's got a slide. Obviously, we didn't go in it. I don't know if it's heated. But then you've got a bar there where you can get food and your drinks. And they've got a theatre stage. And they will put a show on for the kids every single night. Then if you don't want to be that kind of end, then you've got the night bar that will have a keyboard player or singers or something like that. And then Thursday nights is the disco. Sunday is the barbecue. So there's always something going on. Always something going on. I'm really, really missing the place, I must admit. It has really, really stolen our hearts, that place. I'm not going to lie.
What Stacey says. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes. Uncensored, unfiltered, unmissable.
There was another couple that we spoke to at the managers' meeting that come from Ireland. I can't think of her name, but just such an adorable couple. And we said to them, oh, how many times have you been here? She went, 13. I went, in a row? She went, we come here every year. She went, every year at the same time or around about the same time. She went, and we have done for 13 years. I said, have you not been anywhere else? She went, nope. I was like, right, I'm sold. I said to James, would you happily come here every year? Would this be your holiday every year? And then like in between, we'll do a caravan like we do with Kerry and Dean, or we'll do something like that. He went, I'd happily come here every year. I was like, right, I'm sold. Done. Found my destination. Found my base. I'm going to be here every year till my children come along. But then if our children come along, I'd happily take our children there. There is so much for them to do. You've got Anna, who was doing the darts, the aerobics and everything like that. The kids were getting involved. They were all doing it and whatever. It's just so, it is good for kids as well. I don't know what goes on down in the little pool for them. I don't, but what I could see from our pool, it was brilliant. I don't know what it's like in July and August because I will refuse to pay the price for July and August. So we didn't have to fight over a sunbed. People did put their towels down, but you put your towel down, go and have breakfast, come back. It weren't like stress. It weren't like, oh my God, I'm going to run, I'm going to miss a sunbed. There was sunbeds everywhere. But then we do go a lesser time. We go sort of out of season because I refuse to pay the price. There are mixes places everywhere in the Greek islands and mainland. But I think for what you pay for your money for this place, you get above and beyond. And we have looked at others that are 5s. I really can't think of the word of what this fucking hotel is called. Because they've got 3, I think, that act as if they're... So they've got the Laguna, they've got the Blue Domes in Cos and the Alila in Rhodes. That's their... Fuck, I can't think of the word. I'll think of it. I can't think of it. Flagship. There we go. Told you I'll get it. They're their flagship ones. So they like literally do go above and beyond. But we did look at the Blue Domes and we did look at the Alila, and they're both 5 stars. And I just think, what have you got that the Laguna hasn't? And what can you offer that the Laguna can't, and your prices are double than what the Laguna is? So that's the reason why we're kind of staying there. But yeah, I am severely depressed. I have fucking gained weight. I'm not going to lie. I think I've gained about 9 or 10 pounds, but it's not that I overindulged in food. This is the thing. Like, we did go we are all inclusive premium as well. So they do branded drinks, and some things taste a bit different, but then that's what you get when you go abroad. Like, their tonic water tastes a little bit like Sprite. Their Sprite tastes like soda water. It's all a bit like that, but it's not anything to put you off. Their Prosecco is, I would probably say, better than over here. Their wine is just amazing. And I really went off wine before I went on holiday, but their wine is lovely. Whiskey, vodka, gin, tequila. They were making baby Guinnesses in the bar. Like, how the hell they know what that is, I don't know. Any shot, that's what you fail to remember as well. You can have shots. Me and James done a shot of tequila. Ugh, I don't. That's probably what sent him over the edge that night. He slept for 12 hours. Anything you could ask for, they get. They do have your standard cocktail menu, which is just your basic ones, which is like your pina coladas, your Bloody Marys and all things. But if you actually ask them for a cocktail, they will make it for you. If it's not on the menu, they will go out their way to make it for you. Like, I was having Cosmopolitans, it wasn't on the bar menu, and they were making them for me, and they were so lovely. So nice. Really nice. And anything like abroad tastes better than what it does over here, really, doesn't it? It's just like, if I went and got a Cosmopolitan in a cocktail bar, I don't know, somewhere around here, maybe I wouldn't. And they are strong. And there was this other one, and the lady that sat next to us, Fiona, she went, "You need to try this one." And I can't fucking think of what it's called. Something watermelon. If she sees this video, she'll probably tell me. And I said, "Oh yeah, I like that. Like the sound of that." I said, I'm gonna try that one. Oh my God, it fucking blew my head off. It was so lovely, but the smell of tequila, you were like, I said to James, "You need to smell that." He went, "Jesus fucking Christ." I was like, wow, it was so strong, but it's so good. So yes, I'm sad. Very sad. I'm upset that I'm not there. It was just amazing. So amazing. I'm actually waiting to see, we've provisionally booked for next year. Let me say that, because I've got somebody working on getting us in there. Because we had rain, I panic because I'm in the sun, and I need to come back looking like I should not be allowed in the country. So James was ill one day, and he had sickness and diarrhea, and he literally couldn't keep anything down until the afternoon. And when I tell you about staff, going back to the staff and the people, I had Billy, who was one of the waiters at the pool bar, lovely young lad. He literally went and asked the lifeguard for an anti-sickness tablet. I've never been on holiday where the staff have ever done that. And we just thought that was the most loveliest gesture in the world for somebody. And then a lovely lady that we met, Lauren, she had diarrhea tablets, and she come over and gave James, because she was going home, she gave James her last tablets, and they worked, all of them. And I thought, even people that are there on holiday, we've never experienced anything like it. And it was just so lovely, and I just loved it. And I just sat there crying. Like, James said, "What the fucking hell's the matter with you?" I was like, "I just don't know. I just feel like really humbled, and really like I've never been on holiday where somebody's gone, 'Oh, let me help you. Like, do you need this? Do you need that?'" We forgot to take the anti-acid tablets, and the lovely lady Fiona who sat next to us, she went, "Yeah, Gaviscon." It was just like, what? Where have all these people come from? It was just so lovely, and the best experience that I've ever had. We hired a car. That was €35 for the day, and we could pick it up the night before as well, which was really good. Now, for anyone who has never driven abroad, that is a fucking experience on its own. We hired a car last year, but we had a bit more of a flashy car last year, and it was a pig. It was a fucking pig of a car. This year, we just got a little Fiat Panda that literally you shut the boot and it sounded like plastic. It was just, I thought, this car is going to be the fucking death of me. And we named her Lucky that we're alive. And we drove to Plaka in it, which was an hour because James wanted to go snorkeling, and a lovely, lovely little village there as well. Absolutely stunning. It's very pebbly, the beach, but James got in, snorkeled. But he was like, I was in the restaurant having my bottle of wine, and he was just snorkeling. And this restaurant was opposite Spinalonga. So I've got photos, and he's like literally in front of Spinalonga snorkeling. Not literally in front of it, but like it was in the waters of where it was. And come back, the restaurant had a power cut, so it had no power or no electricity or something like that, but they still had gas and grill and whatever. And when we walked in there, she went, I'm really sorry, but we haven't got any power. And we were like, that's fine. She went, he's due back on about 2:00. I said, that's fine. I said, we're not going anywhere. He's going to go swimming. I said, I'm going to be sitting here with a bottle of wine. Just let us know when you've got power and we'll order food. And she just looked so relieved, this woman. She thought, oh, thank God for that. So we had wine and he'd done what he needed to do and we come back. But the drive, thankfully, he took motorways. So it wasn't too bad. And it's like, you seriously have to concentrate when you drive abroad. If you want somebody to overtake you, you literally need to get into the hard shoulder and just let them overtake you. If you want to drive like Miss Daisy, fucking drive like Miss Daisy, because it is not worth losing your life. And then he drove all the way back as well. Last year I drove to Plaka and James drove back, but when I was driving there, it took us the motorway way. When James drove back, it took him the mountain route. So we went all through the mountains. I've never shit myself so much in all my life, because he drives like a fucking lunatic anyway. But because you're on the opposite side of the road, you're like, fuck, like where? And he's like trying to get over, and I'm like, please. I said, you need to go this way, not that way. But we survived. Thank the Lord for some. But he said, I will happily drive again. I would happily drive again. So I don't think I've missed anything out. I just wanted to come on and say hello. And you've just listened to like nearly an hour's worth of me rambling on about my favourite hotel. As I said, I'm all unpacked and holiday stuff is ready to go in the loft. I'm now sitting here in a jumper. I did miss my hairdryer, even though the hotel do supply it. Like if you go to Amitsis, you do not need to take anything. You don't need to take shampoos, conditioners, body lotions, body wash or anything like that. You literally just need to take a toothbrush and toothpaste, perfume, straighteners, whatever, because they do literally supply it for you. Endless amounts of towels. You do get beach towels. And I'm going to admit something here, but James has actually stolen a beach towel and it's under our bed. So yeah, you are literally, you don't need to take anything, but I did miss my hairdryer because their one wasn't really powerful enough. And when you've got a fringe, it was just like, this isn't working. So next year I'm taking my hairdryer and I'll be all right with that. I'll be happy with that. That's the only thing that I've really missed. And obviously you do miss your washing machine, don't you? If you're anything like me, you do miss your washing machine. So that's enough holiday talk, because I'm just depressing my fucking self, as you do. Going back to, going to try and do weekly episodes again for you all. God, can you believe it? It's Halloween soon. That will be Cyan's birthday as well. So I will do an episode on her birthday. I will really get my head stuck back into this, because I have generally missed doing it. I was going to go live out there and talk to you all. But the Wi-Fi wasn't very, very strong, and if you come out the Wi-Fi, you're roaming, and then you're going to end up being charged. So I do apologise that I didn't do a live. I will go back to doing my lives as well. I might do one next week on a Sunday or something like that when I'm a bit more settled in, because I'm still on Greek time. I'm getting up 2 hours early as well. So like we've been getting up at like fucking 5 o'clock in the morning and God knows what else. And like I feel like I've done a day's work before I've got to work. So yes, so keep your eyes on my pages. So for any updates, rants, general talking bollocks as I do, because all the information is there. You can follow me on Facebook, X, which I'm thinking of deleting because it's a pile of shit. All it is scams. TikTok and Instagram. And I will go back, like I was saying, I will go back to doing my weekly episode. So drop any ideas that you think that would be good for the subjects. I will be going back into my special episodes as well. I need to really get my head down because I want to, like I said before I went on holiday, I want to talk about men's mental health and get my friend on there and to talk about it. So I'm looking for a place to do that because it would be very difficult with him being in my box room - Chinese laundry. So yeah, keep update on that. So happy to be back. Fuck knows what I'm going to talk about next week now. I've missed you all. So yeah, thank you for supporting me over these past couple of months, as you all do, and getting involved and whatever. And I will see you next week.
What Stacey says. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes. Uncensored, unfiltered, unmissable.